Hello, church family. It's 2 Minute Tuesday. As many of you know, this fall we have been studying faith practices, the behaviors that form us as believers. This week our focus is hospitality. In 1 Peter 4, the apostle describes hospitality as part of our calling to be, in his words, faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. Hospitality is inviting others to experience God's grace. In Luke 14, Jesus distinguishes between entertaining as a human practice and hospitality as a faith practice. Jesus says, when you give a luncheon or dinner, do not invite your friends, your brothers or sisters, your relatives, or your rich neighbors. If you do, they may invite you back, and so you will be repaid. But when you give a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed. Although they cannot repay you, you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous. According to Jesus, entertaining is hosting friends, family, colleagues, or clients, people from whom you expect some benefit. When you entertain, you're primarily thinking about the menu, the place settings, the decor. In other words, entertaining is primarily about you. Hospitality, on the other hand, is not about you. When you practice hospitality as a faith discipline, you're thinking not about the costs and benefits to you. You're thinking about how you are being a blessing. Jesus says, specifically, he says hospitality is for the poor and the disabled. That's his way of saying, in his context, hospitality is for the people who never get invited to dinner. So who is that for you? Who's that in your church or your classroom or your place of work or your neighborhood? Who needs hospitality? Last week I attended Motor City Comic Con, a conference for movie fans and comic book collectors. I was there with a group of teenagers. I wasn't just there on my own. And the teenagers that I was there with were perfectly happy to go off on their own and leave me. So I did what any middle-aged guy would do. I found a comfortable bench out in the lobby and I sat down. There was somebody else sitting at the end of the bench. And right when I pulled out my phone, he said, "Hi." I said, "Hi." He said, "Is this your first Comic-Con?" I said, "Yes." "Yours?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Are you here with anyone?" He said, "No, I invited my friends and none of them could come." He then said, "I didn't get your name." I gave him my name. He said, "I'm Jacob." I said, "Are you enjoying yourself, Jacob?" He hesitated. And then he said, "Yeah." I said, "Do you think you'll come back to Comic-Con again sometime?" He said, "Only if someone comes with me." He said, "It's not as much fun when you're on your own." He was right. He's right. Comic-Con is a big, fun, welcoming, inclusive gathering. It's a place anyone is welcome, but it's also a lonely place if you didn't bring a friend. You can be surrounded by people and still be alone. Who are the people in your world who are surrounded by people but are still alone? Who needs a friend? Who needs an invitation to dinner? Who needs a listening ear? Who needs hospitality? Find out. Reach out. Share God's grace in its various forms.